The most important thing I see being on the village board is working with the people, talking with people, listening to people, hearing their concerns, comments. I always enjoy hearing all the positive comments as well as the concerns. And the reason I ran for the board to begin with, and what keeps me running for the board, is representing the people, because I feel that that's the primary reason we should have government, is so that people have a voice in their communities. One item that is always in my fridge, because I'm currently a child care provider, is milk. My favorite event in the village is a series of events, actually. I go to the first Saturday social at the library whenever I can, and it's always so interesting. We have residents come that I may not meet otherwise and have a conversation with. I've also met people from Africa, from Norway, who are visiting people who come to this event. It's always interesting. It's a small group. I get to have conversations one-on-one, and I always learn a lot. And so I appreciate those events. And if you have a chance, please come to one of those. I love country music. I usually don't know the words. I don't know who wrote them. I don't know who sings them. But country music just makes me feel like I know where I'm at, and I always have a good time when I hear it, and it just makes me happy. The one aspect talking to people in Waunakee is that I find it's very recent, but people don't know the background of how the library ended up where it is and how we ended up with such a beautiful, wonderful library. For many years, there was a manufacturing site where the library is now, and it provided many jobs to people in the community. It was family-sustaining jobs. And eventually, the family who owned and ran it decided that they were going to sell, and they sold. And unfortunately, at that point, shortly after, around that time, the company closed. And it fell into decay over many, many years. I don't know for how long, I think at least 10 years, the library, Friends of the Library had been looking for a site for a new library, and it got narrowed down to 5 sites, and then they picked where this manufacturing place used to be. We went through a lot of environmental cleanup, doing a lot of work on the site, but we ended up with such a beautiful building and such a beautiful site, and it's something that Waunakee can be proud of. And that's what I want people to know, is that it took a lot of work by a board that was in office long before I was in office, and they did a great job. And it's something that all of us can be proud of. And it's something, no matter when you go there, there's people there, there's many people doing different activities, and I love it. I don't use technology hardly at all, and I stay away from it as much as I can, but I do use the Piggly Wiggly app so I can clip the coupons. I think the splash pad, we were hoping to get a swimming pool in Waunakee, and that didn't succeed because it was voted down by referendum. But the splash pad, it's going to be awesome. It's going to provide some summer fun for families that don't have access to pools, and I'm looking forward to that, the day that opens. I make a dish that a neighbor shared with me many years ago, and you use leftover chicken or turkey, and it's called chicken stirrup, and it's made with rice and cheese and onions and leftover turkey or chicken and golden mushroom soup. You have to use golden mushroom soup, and my grandkids love it. So if I had to have a dish continually, it would be chicken stirrup, so I could share it with my family knowing that they all love it. If somebody's looking to get involved in local government, I would say go for it. The last thing I ever wanted to do was get involved in government. After being involved many years on committees and going to meetings and giving public comment, I decided it was time for me to kind of jump into it with both feet. And I ran for office. I never thought I'd get elected, but I did. I'm proud of the work we're doing. I'm proud of the fact that I represent the people of Waunakee. And anybody who wants to go for it, try. Because like I said, I was the last person that ever wanted to run for office. I didn't think I'd get elected. I did get elected, and we always need new people who will give a new, fresh perspective to the board. No, not anymore. I wanted to be on the village board to represent the people in Waunakee. It's one thing, I think it's a hard thing for people to understand, but it's a hard job being on the board. And with being on the board, I have learned that there's a lot of hard decisions that need to be made. And some of those decisions may not necessarily be what the public wants, but I'm always there listening to the public, considering what they think, and I feel that that's important. I don't have a single inspirational person in my life, but I have had many inspirational women in my life. When I was growing up in a small town, I had a woman who was considerably older than me, who was just such a family friend, and when I moved away and came back, she remained part of everything I wanted to be. And then when I moved to Waunakee, I have been very fortunate to know people like Helen McVicker and Barb Drazen, and so many people who have left an imprint, and they have set such an example. And I have always thought that if we can learn something from somebody and then leave something for the future generations, that's what's important. Waunakee is a beautiful, growing community. I moved here in 1977, and I have watched it grow, and the thing is the growth is by plan. The things that have happened are exciting, and one of the most important things about the village, though, is the people. I've worked with people, I see people, I love seeing people walking down my sidewalk, seeing the children go to school. I will be out in my yard and talk with people, and they're friendly, and I just encourage people to come to Waunakee. The schools, the parks, the trails, there's so many things. We have a great business community, so there's a lot going on in Waunakee, so please consider Waunakee as an option if you're looking to move. Oh my gosh, I can't tell jokes because they never come out right. I'm sorry. Because I always forget the punchline.